It's been announced today that Prince Harry is receiving the Legend of Aviation Award for his time in Afghanistan. However, a veteran of the British Royal Navy is burning at Prince Harry, calling him pathetic, and so much more. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the Alter-Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness. Yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? So, for those that don't know, yes, Prince Harry is going to be named as a Legend of Aviation alongside space heroes such as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, because, you know, when it comes to thinking about Prince Harry, the automatic two names that then spring to mind after that is Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. Yep, I know, right? Are you laughing? Because I am inside. So, yeah, in terms of what's happening with all of this, he's going to be named as a Living Legend of Aviation, and he's going to be inducted into the Living Legends of Aviation at a ceremony hosted by Hollywood actor John Travolta on the 19th of January in Beverly Hills, California. Now, this is all linked, apparently, to his time in Afghanistan when he was flying the Apache helicopters. The thing is, though, to be fair, guys, from my research, he never actually flew the helicopter. He was like number 2, so what's that all about? But here we go. Of course, Omid Scobie, the Sussex cheerleader himself, also had to celebrate the news that Prince Harry is going to be getting this award. However, there's a lot of backlash. And so here we go. We've got an ex-Royal Navy chief slamming all of this as a pathetic publicity stunt, saying that Prince Harry is not a living legend of aviation after Prince Harry somehow beat British astronaut Tim Peake to win an aviation award. Now, the British astronaut Tim Peake, right, it makes much more logical sense for Tim Peake to get this Living Legend of Aviation award. Why? Because there's two other astronauts that have got it. So why not our own astronaut, Tim Peake? How did Harry get this award? Make it make sense. But yeah, the defence chief has hit out on all of this. And in terms of Tim Peake, he became the first British astronaut to walk in space during a trip to the International Space Station. So there's even more emphasis on, well, why the deuce did Prince Harry get this award, but not British astronaut Tim Peake? Makes no sense to me. So, Prince Harry bagged this award despite only ever being number 2 in his helicopter, acting as a gunner in Afghanistan. With the success today, when I could get my teeth back in, branded as a pathetic publicity stunt by Lord Alan West, who's the former head of the Royal Navy. Reacting to it all, he says, quote, "He's not a living legend of aviation. To suggest he is pathetic. It makes the whole thing seem a bit of a nonsense if they're willing to pick someone like Prince Harry. He didn't carry off any great exciting feat of amazing flying skill while flying for the army. They're just trying to get publicity. They know it'll cause a stir. I find the whole thing really rather pathetic." And so, retired British Army Colonel Richard Kemp, he also lashed out, claiming that the awards were about celebrities massaging each other's egos, which really, that to me is any award ceremony in Hollywood. But, you know, there you go, right? Also continues to say, quote, "I can think of many people who did pretty extraordinary things while serving in the British and American Armed Forces, which would be much more deserving of an award like this." Adding, "It's obviously because of who he is, not what he did. An Apache is crewed by 2 people, a pilot and a gunner. Harry was a gunner. He was number 2 in the aircraft. As in, he didn't fly the thing. He was a gunner. Okay, he was in the air, but, you know, he didn't fly it. It's like turning around and saying, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? I should get the Living Legend Aviation Award because I was in the air last month going to Italy. Look at me, I'm a living legend, right? Oh But guys, oh wow, the reactions on Twitter have been insane. Now, going to my very good friend Sue Smith, and if you're not subscribed to her, get it done now on YouTube. She found this, saying, I knew it. They're a butt of every joke and they're looking for a way back in. And so they bought Harry an award. I see this being made into more jokes. And she found this on Wikipedia. The Living Legends of Aviation. The Living Legends of Aviation is a paid-for award honouring achievements in the aerospace industry. So I'm just asking for a friend here. Did Hazard follow, apparently, Megsy's MO and buy an award to make him look more relevant? I'm just asking for a friend. But Angela Levin saw this as well and says, who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it indeed, right, guys? Angela Levin also said, Harry flew for 20 weeks in Afghanistan. Surely not enough to have a Living Legends of Aviation award. Exactly, right? 20 weeks, 5 months. Didn't even fly. But Tim Peake goes to the International Space Station, our very own British astronaut. He's a freaking living legend. He should be getting the award, not Prince Hazard. And then she also writes on Twitter, it seems that Harry has the award more for his work with the Invictus Games than actually flying. I wonder how the wounded feel about this. And this just continues this narrative that, you know, Hazard and Megsy are making the Invictus Games all about them, the spotlight being on them rather than the spotlight being on the people that deserve it the most, which is the wounded veterans, the veterans that are participating in the games, right? And so we have Richard Fitzwilliams, another royal expert, chiming in on this, telling the Express that the term living legend surely does not apply here. If to him, then why not to every pilot who has seen service? Which I think is a great point. No doubt his founding of the Invictus Games has been taken into account, but living legend is surely ridiculous. And I agree with that sentiment. And we've got here another expert coming in saying that, you know, he schmoozed his way into this by copying Meghan Markle. And so Kinsey Schofield said, it's a hilarious move, but unfortunately the same strategy they used last year to try to give Meghan Markle's now cancelled podcast credibility. Smooze your way into ballrooms for trophies and acceptance speeches so that people will think you're being productive. Nah, no one thinks he's being productive at this point. Everyone just thinks he is absolutely and utterly pathetic, including an ex-top boss of the Royal Navy. Oh my goodness. If Prince has a thought that the announcement of him getting this award was going to start to turn everything around for him in a more positive direction, it's only made things worse. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's going to be more. Then make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there and hopefully cause a Christopher Boozy meltdown on Twitter. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Prince Harry getting this award, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.